A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift in foreign policy, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced that the United Kingdom will recognize Palestine as a state by September unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire and a two-state solution in Gaza. This declaration comes amidst escalating tensions and humanitarian crises in the region, as the United Nations warns of a looming famine in Gaza due to ongoing starvation tactics employed by the Israeli government. Starmer emphasized the urgency of the situation during an emergency cabinet meeting, where he outlined his vision for peace in the Middle East, a plan he formulated in collaboration with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz over the weekend. The announcement has been met with mounting pressure from within Starmer's own Labour Party, where over 250 MPs have signed a cross-party letter urging recognition of Palestinian statehood. This internal push has intensified following France's recent declaration of its intention to recognize Palestine, marking a pivotal moment in international relations as one of the G7 nations takes a stand on the issue. Starmer's comments were clear. The UK government demands that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's administration cease its tactics that have led to widespread starvation and allow humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza. The Prime Minister's stance reflects a growing sentiment among many political leaders and activists who are advocating for a resolution to the ongoing conflict. Experts have weighed in on the implications of the UK recognizing Palestinian statehood. Dr. Julie Norman, an associate professor at University College London specializing in Middle Eastern politics, stated that while the UK's recognition could be significant, the likelihood of the United Nations formally recognizing Palestine remains uncertain due to potential opposition from the United States. Nonetheless, she believes that a vote in favor of recognition by the UK and France would hold moral weight and could influence future diplomatic discussions. Dr. Norman noted that such recognition would not immediately alter the situation on the ground in Palestine, where Israel continues to reject the prospect of statehood. However, she believes it could pave the way for future negotiations and policy changes. The recognition could also lead to practical steps, such as the establishment of a Palestinian embassy in London, which would symbolize a commitment to Palestinian rights and sovereignty. Sir Vincent Feen, a former British consul general to Jerusalem, elaborated on the implications of recognizing Palestine as a state. He indicated that this recognition would mean that Palestinian passports issued by the Palestinian Authority would be acknowledged by the UK as valid state documents. However, he clarified that this move would not impact the UK's refugee policies or the existing visa regime, which requires Palestinians to apply for visas to travel to the UK. The prospect of Hamas, the militant group currently governing Gaza, leading a future Palestinian state appears unlikely, according to Feen. He emphasized that the Palestinian Authority remains the primary governing body for Palestinians in the West Bank, and the UK has maintained communication with this entity. He reiterated that recognizing Palestine does not equate to recognizing Hamas, which the UK has designated as a terrorist organization. As the situation unfolds, France's decision to recognize Palestinian statehood has drawn sharp criticism from both Israel and the United States, with officials arguing that such moves could undermine efforts to achieve a ceasefire in the region. President Macron has indicated that he will formally announce France's recognition at the upcoming United Nations General Assembly, further solidifying the shift in international diplomatic dynamics regarding Palestine. Currently, about 144 of the 193 UN member states recognize Palestine as a state, including numerous countries in the global south, as well as major powers like Russia, China, and India. However, only a handful of EU member states have granted similar recognition, primarily those with historical ties to the region. The recognition of Palestine by the UK and France could potentially isolate the United States as the primary supporter of Israel, signaling a shift in global attitudes toward Palestinian self-determination. Dr. Norman highlighted the importance of this development, suggesting it could catalyze further discussions and actions in favor of a two-state solution, which has been the foundation of peace talks since the 1990s. In conclusion, the UK's commitment to recognizing Palestinian statehood, contingent on Israel's response to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, marks a pivotal moment in international relations and reflects a growing consensus among many nations regarding the need for a just resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As discussions continue, the world watches closely to see how this policy shift will unfold and what it means for the future of peace in the region. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.